You still
Yeah.
got
No, I'm done. I'm done with school.
good. Congrats, man. Really appreciate you giving us some time. This means a lot to everybody that has covered you for the last 2 years. So appreciate everything. Let's stay in touch.
Thank y'all. Congratulations, Jackie.
Thanks, you too.
Y'all safe out here.
All right, we're going to keep this going. For those of you staying on here, we have Jackie Quade, the Illinois female Dike Eddleman Athlete of the Year, continuing the dominance by the volleyball program with this award. And we'll go ahead and get started with questions here with Scott Ritchie. You can go start us up first for Jackie.
Hey, Jackie. I guess, Dee kind of mentioned there, but it's 3 in a row for Illinois volleyball after Jordan won the last 2 years. Just how big is the deal that you were able to keep that streak going?
Yeah, I think it just speaks volumes for the volleyball program, how consistent it is and kind of the direction it's going in as well. I think under the new coaching staff, I think the ceiling is just limitless. I think it's a really exciting time for Illinois volleyball, and continually receiving this award for this team really means a lot.
I guess now that you maybe had a little time to reflect on your Illinois volleyball career, what did you kind of make of maybe your last season and maybe just the 4 years as a whole?
Yeah, I guess looking back, it was just such a great experience. I think all 4 years were good in their own right, so it's kind of hard to compare year by year, but I think just finding solutions to new challenges every year and growing as a team, finding ways that this team can work, how this team can work, and just filling those different pieces, I think is just a great life lesson of just working with people, and we all have to do it. And just looking back, I'm just really grateful for everything that it's taught me, the people it's brought me in my life, and obviously, at the end of the day, getting a really great degree.
Maybe take you back to when you came to Illinois that freshman year. Did you ever think, you'd go out as a 2-time All-American, have a Final Four run under your belt? Just thinking back to that freshman year.
Definitely couldn't have predicted any of that. I think coming in, just hoping to do your best, but I think no one comes in expecting for that kind of success. So just really grateful for my coaches that helped me get there. Definitely couldn't have done it without them, my team. But yeah, definitely coming in, never could have predicted that. Never really could have predicted us going to the Final Four. Obviously, it's something you hope for, but to all the things that went into that coming to fruition is just really amazing, and we're really grateful that we had that experience.
Okay, we'll go to Brett, and then Nico's on deck.
Jackie, hope you're doing well. Are you in California right now or back home in Indiana?
So I'm actually in Indiana right now, getting some family time in. I was in California for the first couple months, I guess month and a half of quarantine, and then recently came back here. My sister's due in a couple of days, so I wanted to be home for it. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
And Jacqueline, that's a nice title, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Out of all of your accomplishments, the Final Four All-Americans, where does winning Illinois Best Female Athlete rank for you?
Pretty high up. Illinois is full of so many amazing people, amazing athletes. So just to be honored in this way by the school is such a great honor, especially I think for most Illinois athletes, we can all agree that Illinois has a special place in our heart. So the award coming from there, I think, just makes it mean all the much more.
Thanks, Jacqueline.
Okay, we'll go to Nico, and then Carson, you're on deck.
Jacqueline, kind of building off of what Brett just asked, is this kind of maybe a good culmination in the finish of what was a great 4-year career for you? And maybe what's next in your volleyball journey?
Yeah, definitely a great culmination. It's great to kind of go out on a high note for sure. I think, receiving this award just speaks for the program and all that we kind of stand for, just achieving greatness. So next for me, I'm currently playing beach volleyball at UCLA for my grad school, which has been an awesome experience as well. Obviously, our season got cut short because of COVID-19. So that was definitely a bummer, I think, for all of us. For me, I was just kind of getting started. So to have that cut off kind of stinks. But beyond that, I have one more year there, and then hopefully keep playing. I don't know which route I'll go yet. I think the next year will be pretty telling for me if I want to head back to indoor or stay on the beach and pursue either route there. But I definitely, if allowable, I would love to keep playing as long as I can.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Congrats.
Thank you.
Okay, Carson, you're up. And then once Carson's done, if anybody else has anything, we'll just kind of open it up from there.
Hey, how's it going? Just
Good,
living
how are
in California, like how is that different from living in Champaign? Like,
It's very different. It was a big culture shock for me at first. I grew up in the Midwest as well, so I've been in the Midwest my whole life. So then moving out there was a big change. Obviously, it's a lot more crowded. There's so much going on. We're on a campus that's in the middle of a big city. It's in its own little bubble, but at the same time, you're surrounded by so much. Whereas at Illinois, what's so special about it is the community is so involved and so invested in the athletic programs, which is the coolest thing ever. Like, it's such a great experience. So I guess the change would just be feeling a little bit more like a little ant instead of, at Illinois, it's, the community is so involved. But definitely, I love it out there. I think for me, for grad school, I think it was good to kind of change up the scenery since I've been in the Midwest my whole life. The weather's obviously great, so that's definitely a bonus. But yeah, I think for grad school, with just kind of exploring different aspects of life outside of school and volleyball, it's been a really great change for me, and has been really fun to explore.
awesome. And just finally, just how do you entertain yourself during the coronavirus? Like, how do you keep yourself busy?
That's a good question. It's getting tough. I am still in school, so that's keeping me pretty busy. For grad school, it's, we're all online, but all my classes are still meeting on Zoom, like on a strict time schedule, and they're pretty long. And then we have a ton of assigned readings, which are actually really fun for my major. So it's, that keeps me pretty busy and entertained. And then they also, send us workouts and stuff. So that's been kind of how I've been spending most of my time. But yeah, like I said, I'm back in Indiana now. So I've been spending a ton of time with my family and just kind of enjoying that time that I don't get as much anymore now that I'm out in California. So, we've been playing games. Me and my brother have a pretty intense ping pong rivalry. So, just kind of enjoying that stuff when I can.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, I'll open it up. If we have anything final, looks like Scott maybe has something else. Go ahead.
I guess, Jackie, how was your introduction to collegiate beach volleyball, albeit in a shortened season?
Yeah, it definitely stinks that it got cut short, but I think just after my first couple of months, it's really enjoyable. Beach is a totally different game, which has been fun for me to kind of learn the ins and outs of that I kind of didn't realize before, since I haven't played in so long, and the game has evolved so much. And once you're at a higher level, there's so much more that goes into it. All in all, yeah, it's awesome. It's just a different atmosphere, and you're on the beach, so that speaks for itself a little bit. But yeah, I definitely enjoy it a lot.
What did you have to maybe adjust to the most playing beach?
Definitely my biggest adjustment is, so in beach, it's basically, so if you get served, you're also the one that's going to hit because there's only two people. So people will just not serve me, and then I can't hit, which is what I'm used to doing so much. So I guess just being in kind of a slightly different mindset where I'm more like, okay, how can I set up my partner to get a kill versus me always trying to figure out how I'm going to get a kill, and just being kind of in that different mindset has been a pretty big learning curve for me, because I'm just used to being able to try to swing my way out of any situation. And in beach, there's you really have to be really good at every skill. So just working on setting and setting up my partner has been definitely the biggest learning curve.
So did you ask Jordan for any tips on setting?
I haven't. It's actually, so the form and setting in beach is totally different. So unfortunately, I don't think she would be too much help, which that would be nice if she could, though. Yeah.
I guess maybe to join UCLA, a defending national champs, what was it like kind of just inserting yourself into that program? You were the first ever grad transfer they'd ever taken.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely, you're jumping into a pool of players that is really good at what they're doing, which is really intimidating, and definitely was good for me to kind of step back and just kind of take it all in. And I can learn so much from the people around me, because they're all so talented, so disciplined, and they know so much about the beach game. So jumping into that environment, I mean, yeah, there were definitely tough days, as with learning anything new, but I think being in such a competitive environment was really good for me to just kind of have to dive in and learn really quickly. And it makes it a little bit easier when you are learning from such high caliber people.
I guess maybe last thing for me, besides the weather, what was the best part about being out in California?
There is a lot to do, which is really nice. There's such a variety, so many different cultures out there, which has been really cool to explore. I would say one thing that I've really enjoyed is the food. There's just so many different places that I've never either heard of or tried. And then just moving somewhere new, you're kind of just trying to get the hang of everything. So I feel like just trying the new things of a different area. I mean, it's still the United States, so there's obviously a ton of similarities still, but just kind of acclimating myself to a new area and exploring like my little section of LA was really cool.
So, any new favorite foods you found?
Well, this was kind of already a favorite before, but like acai bowls are really popular there. So I've been getting a lot of those. There's a ton of really good places there. I think that's pretty much, I mean, nothing too new, but just kind of trying out different places.
Thanks, Jack.
Yep, thanks.
I know Robert Rosenthal has a question, so go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, Jackie, I'm curious. So I believe it was after your freshman year when Coach Hambly left for Stanford. Mm-hmm. And, there's a lot of discussion with football and basketball right now that they may remove the restriction on a 1-year sit-out to transfer. And volleyball, you could just transfer and play the next year. Was there thought, since the coach you committed to was leaving, was there a thought to leave and look elsewhere? Or, what was that? I mean, I know you had a lot of teammates even after the next year that transferred away. So can you tell me about that whole process for you?
Yeah, so when Kevin decided he was leaving, obviously for us, we had all been recruited by him. And I think in a lot of our minds, it was like just a lot of uncertainty. So I think everyone kind of had, a slight thought of, maybe if things don't work out now that my coach isn't there, maybe find a different place to do it. And then I think when they brought Chris in, I think he was a great fit for most of us. And so that's why a lot of us actually ended up staying, obviously. So, I mean, yeah, it was just an uncertain time, which can always, you're thinking like, oh my gosh, what if this happens? They bring in someone that's like unbearable. Luckily, our administration is great, and they brought in Chris, who's also great. So it all worked out, I think, how it was meant to. But yeah, during that time, I think all of us were just definitely scared of the unknown and just kind of, worried if things don't go well, what are we going to do? So there's some thoughts, but for me, everything else about Illinois at that time, my academic side, my social side was so great. it would have been pretty hard for me to leave after that.
What was it that made you pick Illinois in the first place?
I would say for me, I really wanted to play in the Big Ten. It's just so competitive, and I think growing up in the Midwest, you just kind of dream of playing in the Big Ten. And then also, I don't know, I feel like Illinois is very special. It is such a college town, and I think for your 4 years, especially when you're an athlete, it's so special to be in a community like that. It's definitely an unforgettable experience. And then just the academic side, I was able to graduate from Gies College of Business, which is so competitive, well-known, well-respected. So just kind of the combination of so many different aspects that were pretty desirable.
Yeah. All right. Thanks. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to have Libby get off mute here. Libby, you can sign us off since you and Jackie have quite a great history together.
Yeah. No, I'm just really proud of you, Jack. Had to keep my dominance going. This is my fifth or fourth straight Dike Eddleman Female Athlete of the Year, so I'm pretty proud of that. So, thanks everybody.
Wait.
Thank you.
Can I ask something?
Oh, God, I didn't know. Go ahead, Rob.
Hey, Jackie, I cycled past the alma mater a couple of hours ago, and I saw a lot of people wearing their blue gowns, staying 6 feet apart, signs up reminding them to stay 6 feet apart. And it's heartwarming, but it's a little sad. I'm glad that you got your Gies degree. Did you have what you felt was sort of the emotional closure of your college experience here before going to Westwood?
Yeah, I would say definitely. I was actually lucky it worked out where I graduated in December. So we had our little December ceremony. That was actually really nice. It was just the December Gies graduates, so it was pretty low key. And they've definitely been really good about they sent each of us like little confetti and M&Ms, those kind of things. So for me, I got to walk, I got to have that graduation experience. I definitely feel for my fellow classmates that didn't get that experience, because I know it is a big deal. You're graduating from college. Not everyone gets to do that, especially from such a great university. So I definitely feel for them. And I think the school is doing the best they can given the circumstances. I think just today I got some stuff in the mail since I'm a graduate from this year. But yeah, it definitely stinks to not have the traditional kind of culminating moment where you're either walking across the stage or in a graduation ceremony with your fellow classmates.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Libby. Thanks, Derek.
Thanks. Good luck, Jack, with your sister.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.